Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today is the very auspicious day of Nrsimha Chaturdashi, the appearance of Lord Nrsimha, Nrsimhadeva. So this is a session on Nrsimha Avatar Part 2. I have shared the link for Part 1, which I did a while ago last year. And this is a continuation of Part 1. So Lord Nrsimha, as we know, is an eternal form of the Lord. And he appears in different universes at different times to enact his divine pastimes. So Nrsimha Chaturdashi is the 14th lunar day of the waxing moon of the Madhusudan month. And thus it's an eternally divine day when devotees honor the transcendental appearance of the Lord. So Lord Nrsimha is one of the 10 avatars. So we know Lord Vishnu, he appears in, he has so many different forms. Actually, Lord Krsna is the fountainhead of all incarnations, and there are innumerable incarnations of the Lord. But the 10 avatar, they are 10 of the different incarnations that are very famous. So Lord Nrsimha is one of the incarnations. He's the 4th incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So Nrsimha, Nara means man and Simha means lion. So Lord Nrsimha, as we can see, he is the half man, half lion incarnation who appeared to protect his young devotee Prahlada, and also to kill the envious atheistic demon whom we talked about in the previous session, Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was materialism personified. Hiran means gold and Kashipu means soft bed. So demons, we know, they love all kinds of luxuries. They are greedy for gold, for all material things. So Hiranyakashipu was actually one of the 2 sons of Kashyapa Muni and Aditi. And Hiranyakashipu had a brother called Hiranyaksha. We know that Hiranyaksha was killed by Lord Varahadev. And so Hiranyakashipu developed a dislike for Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu was his worst enemy, and he wanted to avenge the death of his brother. So he carried out austerities for 100 years, as we saw previously. Just to touch upon the story of Lord Nrsimha very quickly to recap. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to avenge the death. He wanted to become immortal, so he carried out austerities, and Lord Brahma then appeared, and Hiranyakashipu asked to be immortal, but Lord Brahma said, well, it is impossible for you to be immortal, because even I, the topmost demigod Brahma, has to die someday. And so Hiranyakashipu, to outwit Lord Brahma, he said, okay, well, then you can grant me that I don't die within any residence or outside any residence during the daytime or at night, nor on the ground or in the sky. Grant me that my death not be brought by any being other than those created by you, nor by any weapon, nor by any human being or animal. And so Lord Brahma granted this boon to Hiranyakashipu. And we know what demons do with boons. They always create havoc. They like to establish their power over the whole world, oppress people, and Hiranyakashipu did just that. Now, Hiranyakashipu had a son called Prahlada, and Prahlada surprisingly was not a demon like him. He was an exalted devotee. He became exalted devotee because while he was in the womb of his mother Kayadu, he heard the Srimad Bhagavatam narration from Narad Muni himself, and that explains why he became a devotee right at a very young age. And so Hiranyakashipu, obviously having established his control over the heavenly kingdom, wanted to be God, so he wanted everyone to worship him. He was so powerful that even the demigods would shake if he were to even raise his eyebrows. So Hiranyakashipu, he saw his son Prahlada as an enemy, and he wanted him killed. So very briefly, he tried to kill his son Prahlad in so many different ways, which we will look at later on. But his son was fearless. He was Abhay, because he was surrendered to the Lord, and so Hiranyakashipu could not kill him in any way. And we know what happens is one day, after hearing the teachers of Prahlad complaining that they were trying to teach him demoniac principles, and he was actually polluting the mind of other classmates about the glories of Lord Vishnu. So after hearing all of this, and after unsuccessful attempts at killing Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu became very angry, and he took up his sword. And he said, "Oh Prahlad, I'm going to kill you today." And we know that Prahlad, he didn't retaliate. He was just a little 5-year-old boy. Lord Nrsimha broke out of a pillar, which Hiranyakashipu hit with his fist. So Hiranyakashipu hit the pillar and said, "Where is your Lord now? Let me see how he will protect you. Is he here? Is he in this pillar? Who will protect you now that I'm going to kill you?" And Lord Nrsimha, he burst out of the pillar in his wonderful half lion, half man form, to prove Prahlad's words true, that the Lord is everywhere. Because Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, "Is your Lord everywhere? Is he here?" And Prahlad said, "Yes, he's everywhere." And so Lord Nrsimha proved him right. And then there was a fight between Lord Nrsimhadeva and Hiranyakashipu. And we know that the Lord had to take on this form of half man, half lion in order to kill Hiranyakashipu, because of the boon that he had received from Lord Brahma, where Lord Brahma said that gave him assurance that he wouldn't die at night or during the day, on the ground or in the sky, or by any being created by Lord Brahma, or by a human or an animal. He wouldn't die within any residence or outside any residence. So Lord Nrsimha appeared in this form to protect the boon that had been given to Hiranyakashipu, to protect Lord Brahma's boon as well. He appeared in this ferocious form of half man and half lion, and his form is actually very beautiful, and it inspires a lot of fear in the demons. He has, so the form of the Lord described in the Srimad Bhagavatam is very beautiful. The Lord's form is extremely fearsome because of his angry eyes that resembled molten gold, because of his shining mane, which expanded the dimensions of his fearful face. So Lord Nrsimha had deadly teeth, a razor-sharp tongue, which moved like a dueling sword. His ears were erect and motionless. His nostrils and gaping mouth appeared like caves of a mountain. His entire body touched the sky. His neck was very short and thick. His chest was broad, his waist thin, his hairs on the body as white as the rays of the moon. His arms were so strong they resembled the flanks of soldiers spread in all directions, as he killed demons, rogues, and atheists with his conch shell disc club lotus, unnatural weapons. So, in short, that is Lord Nrsimhadeva's bodily description. And so how did Lord Nrsimhadeva kill Hiranyakashipu? He placed the demon on his lap, supporting him with his thighs, so that the demon was neither on the ground nor in the air. And he killed him in the doorway, so he was neither within a residence nor outside of the residence. And he was killed at dusk, which means neither morning, neither daytime nor night, in between. And he wasn't killed with any weapons. He was killed by the fingernails of the Lord. He wasn't killed by any human or any animal. He was killed by half human, half lion incarnation. In this way, the evil demon Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Nrsimha. And it is said that when Lord Nrsimhadeva killed Hiranyakashipu, he took out the intestines of Hiranyakashipu and put it around his neck, as we can see in the picture. Now, this is a very gross scene. If you imagine somebody tearing off intestines, wearing them, that would be very gross scene. But Lord Nrsimha, he was so beautiful. He's the Supreme Lord, that and we know the Supreme Lord has one of the 6 opulences, which is beauty. So he has 6 opulences, and beauty is one of them. And this beauty enchants every living being. And even if he put the intestines around his neck, these made him look so beautiful. It's just inconceivable. And Lord Nrsimha can only be pacified by Prahlada Maharaj. Nobody dared to go near the Lord, but Prahlada Maharaj, he went before fearlessly, and Lord Nrsimhadeva then put his hand on Prahlada's head and became very much pacified, seeing his beloved devotee. So he blessed Prahlada Maharaj, and obviously, Prahlada Maharaj, being an exalted devotee, did not ask for any benedictions. When asked, he simply said, "O Lord, you're so merciful to the fallen souls. I only ask you for one benediction, that my father be excused for all these sinful activities." So we can see here the qualities of a sadhu. Prahlada, he was so compassionate that he did not ask for anything. Instead, his father tried to kill him in so many ways, and he was thinking only of the benefit of his father. He said, "Please forgive my father for his sinful activities." But nevertheless, the Lord gave Prahlada all benedictions, that he would be king of this world, and he would have the facilities to engage in devotional service also, which is what devotees want, which is what makes devotees happy in life. So Prahlada is actually such an exalted devotee that the Lord himself came down to protect his devotee. So that was just a little recap of Nrsimhadeva's appearance. So I've touched only very, very briefly upon it, because I already went into detail in the part 1 of the Nrsimha Avatar session. So in this session, we will actually look at some details that I did not touch upon in the previous session about Prahlada Maharaj, and we're also going to look at Lord Chaitanya, how he is non-different from Lord Nrsimha. So we're going to hear the glories of Chaitanya Leela involving Lord Nrsimhadeva. So continuing with Lord Nrsimhadev, devotees pray to Lord Nrsimhadev. Devotees, they pray to Lord Nrsimhadev for protection, because he is the form of Krishna, where he appeared actually in this form for the purpose of protection. But devotees also pray to Lord Nrsimha to remove any obstacles in their devotional life and to protect their devotion to Krishna from Maya, from many obstacles. So devotees pray. There is a Nrsimha Kavacha mantra that goes Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityu Mrityam Namamyaham. Translation: May my head be protected by the moon-colored one who is the greatest amongst humans. My obeisances unto the ferocious and powerful, the great Vishnu, the fiery one whose faces are on all sides, the fearful one Nrsimha, who causes the death of even death personified, or who can overcome death. In his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1, Sridhara Swami describes Lord Nrsimhadev in this way. So he prays, let me offer my obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadev, who is always enlightening Prahlada Maharaj within his heart, and who always kills the nations that attacks the devotees. His mercy is distributed like moonshine, and his face is like that of a lion. Let me offer my obeisances unto him again and again. Sridhara Swami's commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.1 is very beautiful. He goes, although very ferocious, the lioness is very kind to her cubs. Similarly, although very ferocious to non-devotees like Hiranyakashipu, Lord Nrsimhadev is very, very soft and kind to devotees like Prahlada Maharaj. So Lord Nrsimhadev, he can be very ferocious to the demons, but at the same time he can be very soft and gentle with his devotees. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanil bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrujamyaham. So, and then he goes on to say in verse 4.8, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chidushkritam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. So the Lord appears with two purposes. Paritranaya sadhunam, just to give protection and rescue the devotees, and to kill the demons, vinashaya chidushkritam. So here we see the Lord appears as Lord Nrsimhadev, and he does both of them. Prahlada Maharaj, he was only 5 years old. His only fault was that he was Krishna conscious. He was a great devotee of Krishna. And Lord Krsna, in the Bhagavad Gita, he explains the vision of such a great devotee as Prahlada. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost to him, and he is never lost to me. Such is the consciousness of Prahlada, that he would see the Lord everywhere. And so Krishna is the protector of those who have adjusted their consciousness to that level, and so they are protected by him. So Lord Nrsimha comes to fulfill his promise to his devotee who fully expects his protection. We know that Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, O Arjuna, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So he proved that his devotee will always be protected. So devotees should never be afraid everyone else is afraid in this material world because there is fear that one will lose one's loved ones or lose one's wealth, or that a health will go down, that something bad may happen, or that we may be fired from our jobs, or we're thinking our death is approaching. So there is constant fear in this material world, and so fearlessness can be achieved by taking shelter of Lord Nrsimhadeva. He removes this fear, because fear personified is afraid of Lord Nrsimha. So I wanted to dwell a little bit on the glories of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad means Prakrishta Rupena Ahlada, or the living being in his constitutional position, who is happy to the fullest extent. And we see that Prahlad Maharaj, he was always peaceful. Although his life was constantly being threatened, he was peaceful. He wasn't afraid of his father, whom everyone was afraid of. I mentioned previously that the demigods, they would shake if Hiranyakashipu was angry in some way, and he raised his eyebrows, everyone would shake, would shiver. But Prahlad, he did not hesitate to go up to his father and give him instructions. So we see he gives instructions to his father here. He says to his father that one should take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. He tells his father that he should go to Vrindavan and smear his body with the dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas. So he is not afraid. He is not afraid to give these instructions to his father, because he is fearless. And why is he fearless? Because he was always taking shelter of the Lord. And not only was he turning to the Lord at the time of danger, but at all times he was fully absorbed in ecstatic love for the Lord, and that's the source of his fearlessness. So although he went through so many trials, tribulations, life-threatening situations, he was constantly meditating on the mercy of the Lord, and so he was always overwhelmed in transcendental love. So we can see that as a devotee, we will also be fearless if we follow in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, and we keep the Supreme Lord close to us in our mind, our heart. If we have unshakable faith in the Lord's protection, then even if we're faced with danger, we can be assured that the Supreme Lord will protect us. And so we can be peaceful. So one may think, why did Prahlad not die from the poison, from the fire, from the snakes? So here, let's see, we can see that Hiranyakashipu tried all means possible to kill Prahlad. So he didn't do it himself, but he ordered his soldiers, he ordered the teachers of Prahlad, Amarkas and Sanda. So they tried to kill Prahlad, and they were becoming desperate because they couldn't. Prahlad didn't die when they gave him poison. They couldn't burn him in fire. They threw him in the snake pit, but to no avail. They threw him on an elephant, but the elephant didn't crush Prahlad. So they were becoming very desperate, and they asked him, how is it possible? They questioned Prahlad, how is it possible that you're not dying? And Prahlad then gave a beautiful explanation, which I wanted to share with you all. So Prahlad explained that the poison was his uncle. because his true father was Narayan, and the Lord's consort, Lakshmi Devi, we know, had appeared from the milk ocean. And prior to the poison that had appeared from the same ocean, prior to Lakshmi Devi appearing, that poison had appeared from the same ocean. So that makes the poison the elder brother of Lakshmi Devi, because she also took birth from the milk ocean, and so the poison that came before Lakshmi Devi is like her elder brother. And since the father Prahlad is Narayan, and the mother Prahlad is Lakshmi Devi, and Lakshmi Devi's brother is therefore Prahlad's uncle. So he explained the poison was his uncle, so he was fearless. And so the poison would not harm him. And fire, Prahlad explained, was the mouth of Vishnu for accepting oblations and sacrifice, and the Lord would certainly not harm his son Prahlad. And even when Prahlad was thrown in a pit with snakes, they did not bite the boy. So Prahlad explains that his father, Lord Vishnu, was always resting on a bed of snakes. So when a child plays on his father's bed, how can any harm become him? In this way, Prahlad explains to Skanda and Amarka why he didn't die. And these descriptions are from the Nrsimha Puran 43.28 to 43. All the way up to 85. Also, another point that I did not mention in the part 1 of the session on Nrsimha Avatar is the bit, how did Prahlad know that Lord Nrsimha would protect him? So we see that actually one of the last efforts that Hiranyakashipu made to kill Prahlad was to order his soldiers to tie Prahlad with the Nagapasha snake cords in the dead of night and throw him into the sea and hurl gigantic boulders to crush him at the sea bottom. So when Prahlad was tossed into the ocean, the waves carried him onto the shore where Lord Vishnu's personal carrier, the mighty eagle Garuda, descended and freed Prahlad from the life-sucking snakes. And then Varuna, the Lord of the sea, awoke Prahlad with offerings of respect. Upon regaining consciousness, Prahlad prayed to Varun, O Lord of the ocean, you are fortunate to always behold Lord Vishnu, who lies on the serpent bed upon your waters. Please instruct me how I may behold him before my very eyes. Varuna replied, Dear Prahlad, O best of yogis, simply pray to him in deepest meditation, and the Lord, who is the benefactor of his devotees, will certainly appear before you. Then Varunadev vanished into the water. Now, considering himself ineligible to access the Supreme Lord Vishnu, Prahlad sobbed as his heart sank in sorrow and he fell unconscious. Then Lord Vishnu appeared there and lifted Prahlad onto his lap. Awakened by the loving hands of the Lord, Prahlad was filled with fear, surprise, and pleasure upon beholding the Lord, and he fainted in ecstasy. The Lord embraced Prahlad, and when Prahlad regained consciousness, he prostrated himself before the Lord, and he was unable to offer any prayers. So the Lord lifted him up and said, O son, give up your fear of my majesty, for no one is more beloved to me than you. Please ask from me whatever is dearest to you. Prahlada replied, My lord, I wish only to sip the nectar of your divine form, which is rarely seen even by the greatest demigods. When the Lord again requested Prahlada to ask a boon, the great saint asked only for exclusive, undeviating devotion to him. After blessing Prahlada to acquire anything he desired and enjoy all pleasures, the Lord said, Do not grieve upon my disappearance, for I will never be separated from your heart. Very soon you will behold me again when, to kill Hiranyakashipu, I appear in the form of Nrsimha, loving to the saints and deadly to the atheists. So these details here are from the Nrsimha Puran 43.28 to 85, which is very, very beautiful. So now we will look at a different subject matter, which is how Lord Chaitanya is none other than Lord Nrsimhadeva and how he proves it in Chaitanya Leela. So how Lord Chaitanya is none different from Lord Nrsimhadeva. We'll look at some stories from Chaitanya Leela. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, who is Lord Chaitanya? Lord Chaitanya is the beautiful form of Krishna in the golden complexion on the left, who appeared in this age of Kali only 500 years ago. He appeared to give us a simple process by which we can perfect our life in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, where our lifespan is considerably short and our memories are bad. Lord Chaitanya gave us the simple Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Simply by chanting this mantra, one can attain all perfection right at the end of this very lifetime. So Lord Chaitanya is in the form of a devotee, so he can practically demonstrate to us in the form of a devotee how we should chant. So he would chant day and night, dancing on the streets with his associates, the Panchatattva. They would sing and dance, sing the Maha Mantra, and that's called Sankirtan Yagya, where we sing the holy names of Krishna with musical instruments together with other devotees. So Lord Chaitanya is Avatari, the one in whom all other avatars reside. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that has been compiled by a great empowered devotee, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, there are pastimes mentioned when Lord Chaitanya took on the mood of Lord Nrsimha, and he ran through one village in Navadvip roaring like Lord Nrsimha, picking up a huge club. So it is nice to hear this beautiful katha from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, verse 17.90 to verse 17.98. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, One day the Lord ordered Srivas Thakur to read the Brihat Sahasranam, the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, for he wanted to hear them at that time. As he read the 1,000 names of the Lord, in due course the holy name of Lord Nrsimha appeared, When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the holy name of Lord Nrsimha, he became fully absorbed in thought. In the mood of Lord Nrsimhadeva, Lord Chaitanya ran through the city streets, club in hand, ready to kill all the atheists. Seeing him appearing very fierce in the ecstasy of Lord Nrsimha, people ran from the street and they fled here and there, afraid of his anger. Seeing the people so afraid, the Lord came to his external senses and thus returned to the house of Srivas Thakur and threw away the club. The Lord became morose and said to Srivas Thakur, "When I adopted the mood of Lord Nrsimhadeva, people were greatly afraid. Therefore I stopped, since causing fear among people is an offense." So Srivas Thakur replied, "Anyone who takes your holy name vanquishes 10 million of his offenses immediately. There was no offense in your appearing as Nrsimhadev. Rather, any man who saw you in that mood was immediately liberated from the bondage of material existence." After saying this, Srivas Thakur worshipped the Lord, who was then greatly satisfied and returned to his own home. So who is Srivas Thakur? We know he is none other than Narad Muni, who descended to help in the Sankirtan movement. So the words being spoken by Srivas Thakur here are bona fide. So this is a very sweet pastime where the Lord took on the mood of Lord Nrsimha. There are so many references to Lord Chaitanya's lion-like qualities and lion-like form. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 330 to 331, "Thus the lion-like Lord Chaitanya has appeared in Navadvip. He has the shoulders of a lion, the powers of a lion, and the loud voice of a lion. May that lion be seated in the core of the heart of every living being. Thus, with his resounding roar, may he drive away one's elephantine vices." Such a beautiful prayer. Another famous instance when Lord Chaitanya showed himself as none different from Lord Nrsimha is described again in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is the pastime when one of the great devotees, associates of Lord Chaitanya, Nrsimhananda Brahmachari, wanted to see Lord Chaitanya as none different from Lord Nrsimha. So Lord Chaitanya accepted the offering made for Lord Nrsimha and thereafter showed Nrsimhananda Brahmachari his form as Lord Nrsimha. So let's absorb ourselves in this beautiful pastime from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So after meditating for 2 days, Nrsimhananda Brahmachari told Shivananda saying, "I have already brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the village known as Panihati. Tomorrow at noon he will come to your home. Therefore, please bring all kinds of cooking ingredients. I shall personally cook and offer him food. In this way, I shall bring him here very soon. Be assured that I am telling you the truth. Do not be doubtful. Bring all the ingredients very soon, for I want to begin cooking immediately. Please do what I say." So here we can see that Nrsimhananda Brahmachari was saying that he was going to cook a very nice feast, and he was requesting for ingredients from Shivananda Sen, and he said, I will bring Lord Chaitanya here because I will personally cook and I will offer him food. And so that means he will have to come to eat at your house. So he said, tomorrow at noon, Shivananda Sen, he will come to your home. So Shivananda Sen immediately brought whatever ingredients Nrsimhananda Brahmachari was asking for. And so, beginning very early in the morning, Nrsimhananda Brahmachari cooked many varieties of food, including vegetables, cakes, sweet rice, and other preparations. After he finished cooking, he brought separate dishes for Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because we know that Shivananda Sen, he had deities of Lord Jagannath, and he also he had deities of Nrsimhadeva as well. His worshipable deity Nrsimhadeva also was there, so Lord Jagannath, Nrsimhadeva, but he brought separate dishes. So Shivananda Sen brought separate dishes for Lord Jagannath, for separate dish for Lord Nrsimhadeva and his worshipable deity, and also separate dish for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, since Nrsimhananda Brahmachari wanted to offer it to Lord Chaitanya. So Nrsimhananda Brahmachari divided all the food that he had cooked into 3 offerings. Then outside the temple, he began to meditate upon the Lord, upon Lord Chaitanya. In his meditation, indeed, he saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quickly come, sit down, and eat all 3 offerings, leaving behind no remnants. So, seeing the Lord Nrsimhananda Brahmachari, who was called Pradyumna Brahmachari, was overwhelmed by transcendental ecstasy upon seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating everything. So tears flowed from his eyes. Nevertheless, he expressed dismay, saying, Alas, alas, my dear Lord, what are you doing? You're eating everyone's food. My dear Lord, you are one with Jagannath. Therefore, I have no objection to your eating his offering. But why are you touching the offering to Lord Nrsimhadeva? I think that Nrsimhadeva could not eat anything today, and therefore he is fasting. If the master is fasting, then how can the servant live? So basically, what he was saying is that his worshipable deity Nrsimhadeva had his offerings eaten by Lord Chaitanya, so Lord Nrsimhadeva couldn't eat anything. Therefore, if Lord Nrsimhadeva is having to fast, then he should also fast. So, although Nrsimhananda Brahmachari felt jubilation within his heart to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating everything for the sake of Lord Nrsimhadeva, he externally expressed disappointment. But the following year, when Shivananda Sen went to Jagannath Puri with all the other devotees to see the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one day, in the presence of all the devotees, the Lord raised these topics concerning Nrsimhananda Brahmachari and praised his transcendental qualities. So the Lord Chaitanya said, last year in the month of Porsha, when Nrsimhananda gave me varieties of sweetmeats and vegetables to eat, they were so good that I felt I had never before eaten such preparations. So here we can see Lord Chaitanya is confirming that actually he did go to the house of Nrsimhananda Brahmachari and he ate up all the offerings. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can see he ate the offerings of Lord Jagannath, Lord Nrsimhadev. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya is also he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. Therefore, there is no difference between him, Lord Jagannath, and Lord Nrsimhadev. And so by eating all the offerings to all these deities, of Nrsimhadev, Jagannath, Lord Chaitanya wanted to prove that he is non-different from Lord Nrsimhadev, Lord Jagannath. So in Mayapur, we can see the deity of Mayapur here, of Lord Nrsimhadev, which is extremely beautiful. So this on the right here is the deity of Lord Nrsimhadev in Mayapur. We worship, so devotees in Mayapur, they worship Ugra Nrsimha, where the Lord is in a very angry state after killing Hiranyakashipu. We can see he's so angry here. He is showing all his teeth. It's a very angry form of Lord Nrsimha. Ugra Nrsimha is being worshipped in Mayapur. But this form of Ugra Nrsimha is very difficult to please. Because Lord Nrsimhadev, in this mood of Ugra Nrsimha, only accepts exalted devotion like that of Prahlada Maharaj. So devotion that is completely free from all material contaminations and desires. But devotees worship still Ugra Nrsimha through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And they pray that he may burn all impurities in their hearts, since Lord Nrsimha is the source of all transcendental potencies. This present age of Kali is actually very, very blessed by Lord Chaitanya, who is the embodiment of compassion. He's the ocean of compassion, Karuna Sindhu. He is Mahavadanya. So this age of Kali is greatly blessed. Although it's an age of quarrel and hypocrisy, it has this one good quality, that Lord Chaitanya has given us this Maha Mantra, so we can chant the holy names of the Lord and we can achieve all perfection. So it is, this age of Kali is touched by the special mercy of the Lord in all respects. Thus all the deities are also touched by the merciful mood of Lord Chaitanya. And thus when we are approaching Lord Nrsimhadev, we are dealing with Lord Nrsimha Chaitanya, which is really amazing. Also there is mention in Chaitanya Leela of how Chand Kazi, who had tried to stop the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya by breaking the devotees' mridanga and by threatening them that he would convert them all into Muslim. So this Chand Kazi, when he tried to stop the mission of Lord Chaitanya, he tried to stop the devotees from chanting the holy name of the Lord. We know that Lord Nrsimhadev appeared in the dream of that Kazi and told him that if he continued to harass the devotees and stop the chanting of the holy name, then Lord Nrsimha said he would kill him. And with his sharp fingernails, he scratched the Chand Kazi's chest. But he did not kill Chand Kazi. He said, because you did not harass my devotees. You did not harm my devotees. This time I spare you. But next time, if you harass the devotees, I will tear open your flesh with my nails and I will kill you. So Lord Nrsimha gave a little chance to Chandkazi. And so Chandkazi, we know, he showed Lord Chaitanya these scratch marks, and he asked for forgiveness, and he never again stopped the devotees from chanting the holy names of the Lord. So this is just a little glimpse of the glories of Prahlada and the glories of Lord Chaitanya and how he's non-different from Lord Nrsimhadeva. On this auspicious day of Nrsimha Chaturdashi, let us all pray to the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimha, of Prahlada Maharaj. Let us pray that the Lord may remove all the obstacles in our devotion and may bless us, that the Lord may help to kill our material desires and clean our hearts, minds, and body, clean us from all the anarthas that we have, all the bad habits of lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion that we may have. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.8, there is a beautiful verse and purport that Prabhupada has written that glorifies the Lord and his devotees. So there's this prayer that we sing: Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya, Namaste Jaste Jase, Avir Bhava, Vajranakha, Vajradamstra, Karmashayan Randaya Tamo, Grasa Om. Abhayam Atmani Bhuyishtha Om Shrom. And the translation goes: I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth, just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam 4.22.39, Sanat Kumar, he speaks the following words to Maharaj Prithu. He says, devotees always engaged in the service of the toes of the Lord's lotus feet can very easily become free from hard knotted desires for fruitive activities. Because this is very difficult, the non-devotees, that is the Gyanis and the Yogis, cannot stop the waves of sense gratification, although they try to do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Every living being within this material world has a strong desire to enjoy matter to his fullest satisfaction. For this purpose, the conditioned soul must accept one body after another, and thus his strongly fixed fruitive desires continue. One cannot stop the repetition of birth and death without being completely desireless. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami describes pure bhakti, devotional service, as follows: Anyabhilasita shunyam jnana karma dhyana anavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krsna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. Unless one is completely freed from all material desires, which are caused by the dense darkness of ignorance, one cannot fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, we should always offer our prayers to Lord Nrsimhadeva, who killed Hiranyakashipu, the personification of material desire. Materialistic persons always desire to make the body comfortable, and for this they require huge amounts of gold. Thus, Hiranyakashipu was the perfect representative of materialistic life. He was therefore the cause of great disturbance to the topmost devotee Prahlada Maharaj until Lord Nrsimhadeva killed him. So any devotee aspiring to be free of material desires should offer his respectful prayers to Lord Nrsimhadeva as Prahlada Maharaj did in this verse, which we sang just now. Shri Nrsimhadeva Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Prahlada Maharaj ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha ki jai, Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Happy Nrsimha Chaturdashi to all of you. Hare Krishna.